Welcome, welcome, Cynthia. I'm Nikki, and this is your doorway. As we walk towards or through the doorway towards the Akashic Records, let's see, star, relic. In what way do you need to step back in aligning more with your purpose? So I shuffled the cards, and this card came out first. Seven of Air. So, if there's any plans that need revision, Cynthia, you're seeing how being very logical about what lessons or what leads you in your atmosphere will give you an understanding on how to schedule your time. If more is going on than meets the eye, again, managing your time in a way that really matters to you will give you the clue that you need. So, for example, like a merry-go-round, we love going on different horses to feel the rush of what we enjoy. However, each horse you can only sit on once before going to the next one. So asking yourself, yes, I can go on different routes and using my talents, but does that make me feel that I'm weighing my energy, or is it giving me energy? So seeing this, yes, if you have been planting 7 seeds by using your talent, that is a beautiful thing. That is what it was needed to bring out the structure side of you. However, now that you planted the seeds, like any seeds, some seeds grow, germinate, and some seeds don't. So, out of the 7, what are the 2 seeds that you see growing based on the amount of activity that is being brought? Meaning, are you getting more opportunities from that particular seed that you have grown? Are you getting accomplishments in 1 or 2 seeds that you're growing based on your talent? Look at the 7 seeds that you planted. Which 2 are you getting the most germination out of, the most growth out of, the most gratitude from others? That's what I feel like. Whatever 2 things that you're getting the most gratitude from will be your guide in bringing or using that as your energy that you can focus on. Because those 2 things still connect to your standards and values. It brings out your foundation. It brings out your passion, drive. But at least now you could be more attentive to them, to those 2 aspects of your talent. So it's 2 aspects of your talent that you can really hone into, and the other 5 can be used some other time. So you could put them on a shelf. Doesn't mean that they're not going to be used. It's just that right now it's not in the best interest to use all of your seeds that you have planted. Because again, if more is going on, then that means now your energy is going to start to matter, and you're going to start to physically feel it in your atmosphere, or you're going to start to see that having too much on your plate does give you this sense of feeling alone at moments because you don't have time for yourself or time for others in your life. So again, in order to have your talent and have time for yourself and loved ones, you got to have a balance. You got to really hone in on the 2 aspects that you can water and that you can bring more leadership out of. So again, if there's any thought of poor timing, it's not the timing of your issue. It's really what you have been using as preparation, or what you have been using as a practice. Yes, your practice is not a problem. It's now honing into those 2 aspects that you can practice a little bit more, and leave, and at least put to the side for a moment the 5 attributes. Just focus on 2. Why focus on 2 will give you that leverage that you need and being more in your purpose, because in the 12th hour, or in 12 days, so that's what, a week and 4 days. So a week and 4 days, you'll see a awakening or aha moment to why focusing on those 2 aspects of your talent made sense. Because it's still, those 2 aspects of your talent, yes, still connects to your standards and values, which I felt as your key, yet it also goes back into the number 1 aspect of yourself, that magician, the manifester, the thing that you always feel active in. What you feel active in has 2 aspects to it. It's like the day and night. It's like the light and shadow side of ourselves. Both of them are agreeing to those 2 aspects being trained and tend to. So, when you look at the 7 ways you have used your talent, or the 7 ways you have been active in your talent, out of those 7 activities, what are the 2 that you really feel more energetic towards and more emotionally invested in? I had to make that decision myself in my reality. When making Keykeys.Doorway a license, I first started to apply for a grant in the local library, in my local library, because I felt that I needed the funding to show myself and others that I really feel like growing this talent as an agency. So applying for the grant, I got the seat for the grant application, for the grant contest. However, I started receiving in my world opportunities where I could physically do my craft. You're one of them, and other people in my atmosphere are calling me now to really have me practice what I love. So I had to ask myself, do I really have the energy and emotions to not only stick to the grant application process? Because I've grant write before, and I've done grant proposals for my mother when she was alive. And I know that takes months to do, compared to having people like yourself call me and say, would you practice your art in the now? So I said, well, now I have to make a decision. Again, I'm a Taurus. I don't like making this. I like to make decisions, but the changes I feel is a challenge. So this was a challenge to me. Either put my emotions and energy to this talent, to this practice, or go into a grant class workshop to get the grant, which I would still need to practice anyway, but this by process. And I chose to practice the talent rather than process the talent, if that makes sense. So, Cynthia, you have planted seeds, and you're very successful in planting them. But out of the 7, the 2 are definitely going to be awakening, not just for you, but awakening for others in your atmosphere. And looking at things from a different perspective will give you that longitude you needed to go the longevity. So a temporary standstill is necessary. You got to lean back before you take the lead forward. So you were right in thinking, should you stand back and looking at how to be more in your purpose? Yes, because you've been making those moves. So don't think for 1 second you haven't. Now that those moves are mattering to you and in your atmosphere to others, now step back and see what seeds have grown. And out of those 2 seeds, every seed has grown, but it's 2 that are really growing. Those are those are the 2 that you should tend to and teach and practice in. When you're doing that, it's important to be yourself. Okay? As you're being yourself and looking at, out of the 7 seeds that you have planted, what are the 2 that really you could put emotions, energy, and activity in, and not feel like is making your atmosphere feel hectic, but more aligned. By tapping into your Cancerian side of who you are. You are very clairvoyant. See how your clairvoyance can give you the consciousness to know, again, 7, you went down to 4. So we got to turn this 4 into a 2. But again, out of the 7, you really feel passionate about 4. But right now, emotionally, energetically, it is 2 that really you can tend to. The other 2 will be there for you. But once you get these 2 more in alignment, then the other 2 will come. So the 2 aspects are connected to the core of who you are and the community. Your heart, your willpower, and your community. Those are the 2 aspects. So out of the 7, and even out of the 4, it is 2 that you really feel fruitful in, that you really feel fiery in, that you really feel passionate in, that you feel it has its own purpose without even you presenting it. So that will give you a key. If this means going to a Cancerian, a water sign that has Cancerian in their chart, they're all about communities, outreach, they're all about the community and seeing what is really needed in the community, go to them. This does not require you to think about it yourself. It has not ever been. You have always had a person, a physical person, a spiritual guide, and now as you're going in the community, go to recreational centers, go to community outreach, go to community centers that really speak to your core value. Any recreational or any community center has pamphlets of what they do provide there. Or speaking to a council in the community center will be a way to communicate what is it that you really want to do, and then they can actually show you what way you can use that. And I would not be surprised that they'll say it's 2 ways that you could use it. And by that conversation with this person, it will change the will and your perception. You're stepping into the boss. Once you hear this communication or a way to really bring out your 2 aspects of your talent, you'll start to turn the wheel. You'll be that wheel of fortune. And as a will, your will make a way. Why? Because you have other people in your world that wants to help you make that way for you. So again, once you talk to a Cancerian in your community, that is connected to the community as well. So again, whoever you connect to is also connected to the community and what is being talked about. They could come to you and let you know what aspects should you really be keen on or really bring out. When you're doing that, you'll see that a positive change is going to take place. A contentment, peace, and abundance will be right in front of you, right in your face to face with you. A happy home life. Again, this is going to even change your home life, how you dress, how you speak, how you even look at yourself, and a successful completion of a project. Why? Because as you spoke to a person in the community or community center, they're going to show you a situation that suddenly needs your skills and your 2 aspects to help. So fortune is on your side in regards to that. So you have the right to stand still, because as you're standing still, you'll see what is those 2 ways or those 2 aspects of that one talent that can be utilized, that can be used in the community, and that you'll love doing every chance you can get. I love you, Cynthia. I love you. Thank you for allowing me to read the books of who you are as a relic, as a star, and as a pioneer in your community. I would definitely love to hear how these 10 books will be of use in your reality in the month of February. Please keep in contact with me, because again, I'm looking for people like you to contribute. I'm in the same process of making an agency in my community in regards to bringing out the arts and having people of all walks of life in their arts to teach, train, and counsel people in the community and to make careers out of them. So, I know you're in Chicago, but again, I'm seeing that it's going to require me to travel at some point and doing conventions with others like yourself. So, this is giving me more of a reason to strategize on making a convention or a gathering space in different locations in the United States that can allow people to come and find out information about what you provide as a service and how other people in the United States and even abroad can reach out to you, and I as well. So thank you for this journey. Thank you for allowing me to be the key with you and unlocking your true potential that you've seen all along. But now to get a reading as an oracle for you has allowed you to see the opportunities that is approaching you. I love you. I love you. We will see you on the other side.